Thank you, Tammy. Wait, come on in. So this wasn't rehearsed, but for those who don't know me, I cannot stand songs that repeat themselves, and I picked two of the most repeating songs without paying attention to it. This morning I would like to talk about the fathers. I think I skipped we're supposed to have our reading. Pam, will you start the scripture reading?
You'll have to remind me which one it was. 55 something.
55:22.
22.
Yeah.
Cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved.
1 Peter 5:6 and 7. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you.
1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure.
So this was where I was going to start my part here, but this is my grandfather and my daughter. But since this is Father's Day, my grandfather was a preacher, and I'm pretty stoked to be getting to talk to everybody on Father's Day and show his picture. I lost him quite a few years ago, but he is the staple in our family. This is me and my pop and my grandbaby. That's not me in the middle. But I just wanted to show those pictures. My wife has put all this together, and I thought that was pretty cool for Father's Day. I got to put that picture of us up there. So I wasn't nervous, but I just got that way, just so everybody knows. I'm very grateful that there's not 500 people. I don't know how you do it, but today I simply want to talk about fathers. This preparation for this sermon started about 6 months ago. I write down notes for myself, however they come to me, and Pastor Tammy asked me to speak today, so it went from a sermon about burden to a father's burden. And I just can't imagine what God has gone through with his son, but I'm gonna try to shed a little light on a little bit of all of it. A couple of questions to start out with. What does a father mean to you? Of course, it's dad, stepdad, it's grandfathers. I showed you my pictures. The other question is, were they loving, caring, patient, forgiving? I know the father figures in my family had to have all of that with me, and now I've got a 22-year-old son, and even though he's not here, I've got to have a lot of patience. I'm very grateful. This morning I got to hear from him this morning. We got to talk a little while, and it was wonderful. And I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, but he's gonna be all right. I've talked to him about God, and God's working on him too. The second part of this is the burden. What's it like to be a father and worry and wait up all night for the phone calls that may not go so well? And my hardest part was face the day whenever the kids got to leave. I remember when I left, and it didn't hurt me near as bad as whenever my kids left. When my kids decided to spread their wings, which my son, I don't think he spread his wings. I think he got the boot. But I helped him out of the house a lot quicker than my daughter left. But It doesn't always have to be a burden, but even at that, even if it's a good situation, you still worry about them. You have to let them go. I'm going to use Luke 15. Luke chapter 15, 11 through 13 is going to be the starting of it, but it's going to be 11 through 24. It's the parable of the prodigal son. Jesus continued, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, Father, give me my share of the estate. So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to the fields to feed pigs. So there's a father. He's got 2 sons. Today we're not going to talk about the second son, but we're going to talk about the one that decided he knew it all. So he asked his father for his inheritance, and his father granted his request. And the son packs up and leaves out to the world. So we have a father, and now a father has a burden. The son's going to leave. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You hope for the best, but it's going to be tough. He worries about whether he's eating, sleeping. He just doesn't know what's going to happen. As parents, we all feel that anxiety, the separation from our children. So we continue on down to, which I jumped a verse, but to verse 16 to 19. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So now we got the son's burden. The son's got to suck it up. He knows he's not eating. He knows he's not sleeping. Now he's hanging out with pigs. They're not Harleys either. They're literally pigs. He's living out in the fields. But he knows that he's messed up. I know I've been there. I'm sure other people have too.